And welcome back to Top Dogs, and my name is Fiction Boy.
I'm Stream Arcadad.
And I'm Whiplash Wolf.
And today's episode is going to be about technology then and now. So, people have a misunderstanding of technology, and based on how people are today, with technology, when they hear the word technology, they think of, electronics, computers, electricity. That's hardly a mistaken analogy of what people think of technology. For example, if we were to go back way back in time, the invention of the wheel by our ancestors is a form of technology, right? The same thing with back in the medieval times when, I don't know how accurate this is, but I'm going to use this as an example. In the medieval times, they used utensils instead of their own hands to eat, like how the nobles do it. That is also a form of technology, you know? And I'm pretty sure there is some technology you guys know back in the day that nobody ever considered that was very convenient. And the way I think of technology is it's a convenience tool.
Yeah. Any sort of like technology can be anything that help you improve a quality of life or your own health or basically, it's those. Like a good example of a good technology that doesn't use electricity: 3-layered glass windows. They provide better isolation. They allow you to save power and electricity, and keeps your house in the winter warm, and keeps your house cold during summer when you have AC inside your house.
Ooh.
This is one example.
Okay, Whiplash, I know you definitely got some. Tell me, I want to ask you, and I want to put your knowledge to the use of this. The first models of cars, what kind of technology do they use back in the day that we don't use now, if you can think of any?
I mean, most cars back in the day used a flat head. Like, it's not like how heads of cars are now, where you have dual overhead cams, overhead valves. They used some weird technology where the top of the car, like top of the engine, was completely flat. Oh no, I'm flying. And to drive them was a different situation either. It wasn't like a convenient automatic like we know now, or manual transmissions, even though manual transmission is like the easiest, most simplistic thing to a transmission. But their transmissions were still rolling with it. So what they had to use, they used levers on the dashboard to change gears. On the floor. No, not that. No, not like that. It was moving down and stuff. It was weird. It was really weird. And braking was the same way.
Process?
It's nowhere near how you would see it as today, that's for sure. It was just beginning of technology, so.
I remember, the only thing I do remember is when if you wanted to start up the engine back in those days, you had to crank it with some type of lever.
You had to. There was no such thing as a starter. The starter was you.
The starter was
I've seen
me. Okay.
I've seen an old tractor that used 12-gauge shotgun shell to start the engine. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Explosive.
Yep. It works.
But in those, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh my god.
Can you hear the
as I was saying.
No, so here's what's happening right now. So I have 20 people on top of me right now partying, and they're moving the floor so much that my base station that are fixed to the ceiling are moving, so you can see my whole avatar shift up and down because they're stomping on the ceiling, on the floor.
You know what that's making me think of?
Oh my god.
It's that one lady that was trying to apply lipstick on herself, and then there was an earthquake. That's kind of what I think of. The situation and what's going on in streams.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, where she was applying the lipstick and it just smeared all over across her cheek.
Yeah, she's like, looking like the Joker afterwards.
But since we're talking about the old technology, is there any other old technology that comes to mind that people probably wouldn't even think about that is a convenience
Lantern.
to our modern world? A lantern? Wow, we don't even use lanterns like we used to anymore. I mean, we do, just mostly in camping situations, but not like the old-fashioned way.
I mean, in
Yeah,
camping,
now there's LED lights in them.
Yeah, we use a lot of retro style technology in camping. Technology is starting to show up a bit more. Those like battery backups that you can plug your phone, so even when you're camping, you still have access to internet. Which what's the point? But it also depends if you need emergency contact. That's good to have. But technologies and textiles, fabrics and stuff, water repelling products that allow to your camping equipment to last longer under the rain is another good way to explain, like, see how technology has improved over the years.
Exactly.
What else?
Composite materials are great as well.
What else? I feel like there's
a lot that we can name in the past.
Exactly.
Ooh, here's
like
a good
back
one.
to automotive ways. I was gonna say how transmissions and engines have like gotten more fuel efficient over time due to technology advances. Like dual cam really wasn't. Dual cam is what most cars use these days, and it's mainly for fuel efficiency, or as people like to use, the variable valve timing. You know, electronic control that everyone has. It helps with fuel efficiency and get more horsepower too when you're like in the RPM mode. That do it. It's usually like 4,000 RPMs. And the transmission's how we've gone from like back in the 60s where it used to be like a 2-speed automatic to now we have like 10 speeds. Which if you don't know what that means, that's how many gears it is.
We don't use carburetors anymore. We use direct injection systems.
Fuel injection.
Well. Yeah.
Not fuel injection.
Even generators.
Port.
Yeah,
port injection.
But since I want to keep on the topic of like some old tech, and I want to get back to the car technology soon because I want your opinion on something. I feel like all of us grew up using a VCR and a VCR cassette tapes.
Yeah.
We don't even use those
Disney
anymore.
movies on that.
Oh,
Hell, I don't
yeah.
know. Do people really use DVD players anymore? Because when that
Nobody
came out,
uses
like in
DVD
like late
players
90s,
anymore. Now we use streaming services to watch our content.
It's more convenient.
oh god, in 20 years, like since we've been alive, or well, since Stream is in his 30s, but still, the fact is, in our time alive, we have gone through so much technology. Like back in the 90s, we all were born in the 90s. VCR was like that. That Walkmans were becoming like super technology.
The Sony
I had one
Walkmans.
in
Oh my
elementary.
god.
I still have one. It
Dude,
still
I have-
works.
I had the whole series of the Thunderbirds on VHS tape, and I used to listen to it all the time. Like VCR, man. It's been a while. It's been a
Old
while.
tech that we used to use. Oh wait,
I
there
still
was
got
something
one in
else
my
we used to
basement.
use.
I still got my VCR. Actually, it's my husband's, but I still got a VCR just in case.
Did you?
Wait, you remember? Okay, I want to say, I'm sure we've all seen it, but you remember the TVs? I can't remember what it was that they used, but you would turn it on, and then the screen would warm up and be like that flashing white light. It's like,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
and when
I
you turn it
did.
off, it just like goes back in. Oh my
Whenever
god!
the-
I remember using.
There was a big TV. It was so thick. It was basically the flat. It was basically the flat screen at the time. It was just thicker. You know which one I'm talking about? Those things were
My
heavy.
parents had one.
Oh god, I don't remember the name for it. You had,
had a Sony
cathode
one.
tubes, and then you had the projected. It had like a mirror, so it was coming up and then bouncing on a bigger screen. But I don't remember what they were called. And that's
I
before
know what
like
you're talking
plasma and LCD came out. I
Guys,
still have
yeah,
a plasma
heavy.
TV. I
You
still
guys are thinking of projector TVs.
projector TV.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
there you go.
Okay.
Thing is, I just remember my parents had one, and on the front end, it just looked like a flat screen TV. The second you do it at an angle, you just have like, you have like a mile
Massive-
of TV behind it.
Yeah, that TV had
There's
some
so
bulge,
much-
man. That TV had some cakes.
That put me to shame.
Put everyone
All
to
of
shame.
us to shame, trust me.
Jesus,
Man, I gotta
came
say,
with the
those
whole
cakes on my
package.
avatar are up to scale. I'm not even kidding.
Like it was
lifting
like
those things to definitely put your cakes to work.
it's like 200-300 pounds. Like imagine a TV being 200-300 pounds back then versus like what they are now, like what, 25 pounds for like the biggest TV.
I think the coolest thing about those big, thick TVs was the fact that it was very inconvenient to steal. Now, people do steal flat screen TVs now because it's how conveniently not as heavy as those things are, but you couldn't steal those.
Yeah, but they're getting bigger to a point where it's just cumbersome. It's like carrying a big sheet of plywood, almost.
It is. It's going to be like a comedy sketch where they're walking across the street and someone just drives right through it. Like a glass. Like instead of glass, just a TV.
Yeah, I mean, those screens are flexible now, so they'll just like whoop, 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 and they'll make that metallic saw blade whipping noise it does.
Oh my
God.
God.
Who knows? We might have hologram TV. You never know.
Don't we have that actually soon?
I don't know if we do.
We don't have holographic TVs.
We also don't have the 3D TVs technology that's public knowledge yet. I don't think that's...
Well, so usually the holographic TVs are either like pass-through modes with an overlay on top, which is one of the most common ways to do it. Those perception of vision propeller blades that spin and project an image, that's also kind of like that. But being able to stop light in the air is still impossible now to this day. And it's going to take a long time before we're able to do that. Because to make a holographic image, you need a particle that will float in the air that will reflect or emit this light. The easiest way to do it, it's like, well, one of the people think it... So normally if you want that to work, in theory, what you do, you have to stop light precisely in a point. But that's impossible to do. But that's the definition of holographic images.
Yeah, that's going to be quite a thing to do. But since we're talking about new technologies, this is where I kind of want to bring back a couple of things. First, the most popular type of technology we use today is cloud services. Cloud is a huge thing, and constantly, that's what we use in our own stuff because we need it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, nobody wants to have like a physical server in their workspaces anymore. They all depend on the cloud. Everybody works remotely. They don't want to pay for buildings and rents and stuff. And like servers, they require like a specialized technician to take care of them, either software-wise and or physically. When the hard drive fails, you need to replace it. When RAM starts to shut down, power supplies that are like burning out, it becomes like a liability issues. And using cloud services, they have multiple backups, so it gives you a peace of mind. The only failure point is actually your internet connection, and if that breaks, then you're completely dead in the water.
So there is some things I could point about cloud is that you need hyperversions, type 1 and type 2. So I might be using that word incorrectly, but it does say hyper something, but I'm going to say hyperversion. So what is the most convenient ones? Type 1 is a little bit more faster than type 2. Why is that? Because type 1 is way more faster, because with type 2, you need an OC host, which is OS host, operating system host on the type 2. But with the type 1, you don't need that. I won't explain the things about it. That's going into details about cybersecurity. But the thing is that I will say it's more convenient to use a type 1 hyper 1 and then it is a hyper 2 because OS host, which you guys don't need to understand unless you are a tech nerd. Okay, that time I heard that bang.
You know what I want to do to them? Just be like,
don't set the studio on fire.
But then you'd be burning your own house down there.
It'll be fine. It's concrete.
Oh, concrete. Oh, you just cook it some, I guess.
Yeah.
You're lucky we don't have a fire system.
Oh god, that would be like me, like all wet. I'm like, oh no, my foot. No.
Your robotic arm is broken.
Oh, dude.
Not like, yeah. But yeah, anyways, now we're using the most convenient technology today, which is definitely cloud computing. We use it for many things. Most of the time, the convenience of using storage, that's the big thing. I would say that the con to it is that we're relying on other companies to give us that service instead of having our own. That's the only downside I see to it.
Beep bop boop.
God damn it.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it is broken.
I don't think that worked.
Oh. You hit yourself with a pan because it malfunctioned.
I was curious if it was still making sounds, and I can confirm it still makes sounds.
At least it is making sounds. But now we're going to go back to a new technology that is coming in the future. Did you want to say something?
No, I'm listening. You have a beautiful.
Okay, good boy.
It's fun to listen to. I said, no. Bad. You don't call me good boy.
Okay.
Yeah, don't look at me.
I'm not sure if you did it, but my Google Assistant just went on as I started talking to me. Like, do you need some help?
Yeah, my Apple Watch does that to me. It's like, sometimes my Apple Watch would be like, that's not very nice. I'm like, I'm not even talking to you. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Hang on.
Like the most inconvenient way it just freaking happened. I'm talking with a client. I'm taking care of bank security, and then my watch will start saying random shit. I'm like, I'm sorry about that. Just ignore her.
Hold on, I gotta do something. Hang on a second. I don't know if I can reach Google. Hey Google.
It's like that one video, where it's like, this is the perfect time for me to scream at the top of my lungs. It's just
And then you hear like the freaking Grinch.
I don't think you can hear my Google Assistant, but I was trying to get it to work.
Flow out.
Oh no.
Just screams.
Oh, that one.
Oh god. Okay, I try to get you guys to hear Google Assistant, but I guess you guys can't hear it.
No, you put noise canceling on. That's why we can't hear you.
Dang it. Anyways, usually my microphone is more sensitive.
Well, I'll take care of your Google. There you go.
There you go. Bye-bye, Google.
You're crisp. Yeah.
All right, so now I want to bring back to new technology that is technically here, but it's not that popular just yet, which is going to be focused on Whiplash's opinions on this. And I'm pretty sure he has opinion on this. So we already know the government is trying to make electric cars the new thing. They're getting rid of fuel cars. How do you feel about that? Oh, he has to think hard about this one.
Well, this is where I get really, really into it. Because, yes, will electric cars be much more better for the environment? Sure, that's true. But batteries also do run out of juice. They also do run out of juice. They also do have to be depleted after like 10 years because lithium-ion batteries don't last that long. Like engines you can just keep. Yeah, I mean, engines you can just keep running forever and ever and ever as long as you keep up maintenance on them. Like both my cars are almost 20 years old. They're running still because they're combustion engines. Batteries, where are we going to start putting, discarded batteries at once we have so many just electric cars?
Can I interrupt you on that point? Because I hear that a lot. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, batteries, they pollute just as much as engines. So technology is always driven by need. And every time something became a problem, we developed technology to be able to fix it. So right now, we might struggle with recycling lithium batteries, but they're currently working on technology to fix that. So it is kind of a problem now, but it won't be for long. I can tell you that for sure, because it's always been like that. Technology is driven by a need or a problem we need to fix.
There's also another issue that I wanted to point out that would be very helpful because me and Bethany saw a video.
You want to finish this point though, because I interrupted.
Well, no. I want to add on to this point that would be a lot more helpful. So Whiplash. So me and Bethany saw a video a few days ago, and there was this guy that was talking about the electric car problem that could be anything. He's like, well, why don't you guys just set up 4 alternators in the electric car?
Oh my god.
You know how convenient that would be. I mean, he's not wrong, though.
Well, you need multiple alternators if you have a bump and sound system because it uses so much wattage that it would destroy just the one battery you have in the car. So you need something to up the amps of that quickly, but usually most sound system cars have like 2 or 3 batteries in them. But what I'm getting at is, yes, there's not a solution right now for those big battery packs whenever they start dying out. But what I was getting to is, yes, digging up for oil out in the Gulf and wherever else it may come from is also bad for the environment. But where lithium-ion batteries are dug up from the earth is also not really that healthy for the environment. Does it produce as much pollution? Probably not, but it's not as good. I mean, both situations, it's not really helping the environment too much, except for the electric cars not doing any sort of pollutions. But There's other solutions out there besides electric cars. Like Toyota has the hydrogen-powered car, uses water.
Water.
That's true.
Water.
Now they only sell one
Stop.
car, and it's only in one state. It's in California, called the Mirai. And fuel for it is expensive, so they give you like 4 years free of fuel for it.
But we all know that this technology is coming in the next 20 years where it's going to be very noticeable. Eventually, the government is going to... Did they already decide a thing that we can't make engine cars now, or they're about to?
It's like 2030. Well, I know for California, I think like 2030, 2035, all cars by then shall be electric only for sale.
Mm-hmm.
The government, I don't know. I think government was like 2050.
Okay. So, I will ask this, and this is a personal question for you guys. We'll start off with Stream. What is the oldest tech that you have used or had when growing up? Like, if you can think of something that's very fond of your memory.
An old technology I've used for years. I still have. I still got... Oh, God. If I go quickly... Right now, I would say I still got some cassette tapes. I have my hypnotherapy sessions I used to take when I had depression. I still have them on tape, and I actually have a tape recorder that I can actually play it back if I need to. I don't really need it anymore, but I still have that tape. That would probably be the oldest technology I have that I'm still using. Again, earlier I mentioned I still have a VCR player, but that's not mine. That's actually my husband. I still got my PlayStation 1, which uses CDs, which we barely use. We still use CDs. Well, now for video games, they're Blu-rays. But like
Nobody
CDs,
uses the Blu-rays anymore.
Yeah, my husband still has his NES as well, which uses cartridges.
Cartridges, God.
Yeah. I don't have a Walkman or a CD player anymore. I don't have that. I used to have a Panasonic with the inline remote controls on it. That was kind of cool. That was super hype back then. Oh, man. No, that's it. That's pretty much it. I think the oldest technology is the cassette tape I still have.
Oh. What about you, Whiplash? Any old technology that you currently still use or you remember and fond memories of?
I still currently have a Super Nintendo.
Ooh.
Yes,
God,
like
that's
the original
old
one.
School.
The one where you use the big cartridges.
Go ahead.
And you go swoop.
I still have my PSP 2000 with the CDs.
Oh, the PSP.
Those UMDs. I still have it.
The mini CDs. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're
I remember
cute.
those
They're
things.
adorable as hell.
They were good when they came out, but I guess it just couldn't compare it to the Game Boy Advance. Like, I will say though, when Game Boy, or not Game Boy Advance, but the 3D or Nintendo DS, because I mean, when the DS came out, it wasn't the first touchscreen like machine on the market, but it was close to it, wasn't it? Because that came out before the iPod.
Yeah. The Nintendo DS, the first original one. The two
05,
series were.
because that was the.
Yeah. That was 05?
It was 05 because I still have mine. I have a purple one, so.
I remember playing the hell out of these things in the school bus. We had an hour, 15 minutes of a bus ride to do, and we had one person with a cartridge and 9 other people connected, all racing together. Dude, epic memories I used to have.
Good memories. Being a child in the back seat of your car with a Game Boy Advance, playing Pokemon Emerald. And since the screen wasn't backlit, you had little lamp thing you plugged into the top of it that was shining out on the screen. Yes.
Yeah, and it was like all twisted, and then you had to bend it. Oh my god, that's Game Boy Color. I remember.
I remember the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, before
the Game Boy
SP,
Micro.
Like...
Or whatever it's called,
yeah.
like the thing that lasts like
very
1 year or
niche
2.
Yeah, they didn't last very long in North America. They lasted longer everywhere else, but not in North America. They didn't catch on.
No.
But I do have one old tech that I currently still use. I still have my original Xbox console, and you won't believe what game I had with Whiplash. It's going to bring you back childhood memories. I still have my Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Oh, I was going to say Underground too, but that works.
Also, an old favorite game of mine was Tony Hawk. But you said Underground, but I was like Tony Hawk Underground, which is the original. I love that game.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, a
Have you
little
guys
quick
ever played
little
Time
fact.
Splitters?
I do remember that, but I wanted to point out a quick fact. So, you guys ever played Tony Hawk Underground?
I think
one of the
so.
original.
How
So,
about
the guy-
the first one?
So the main antagonist of Tony Hawk Underground is Eric Sparrow. What you guys don't know, the guy who plays Eric Sparrow, the voice actor for him, is actually Jack from Beastars.
Damn, that long ago?
Really?
All right.
I
Yeah,
don't know anything about Beastars. I've actually never watched the show.
it's
I
okay.
watched the first season, that's it.
Every time there's a
I was
new
gonna say-
furry anthro character, the whole furry community goes all hail on it, and then you see E621 fill up and Fur Affinity fill up with art.
Have you seen Death from Puss in Boots?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yes, I seen it.
Oh.
Actually, Craig is a friend of mine. He makes avatars. He actually made the Zeus base. I saw his version of it, and it's pretty nice. He made the muzzle a bit more narrow and changed some of the body proportion, and he actually made the scythe and the cape and everything. But I haven't
If
seen
you ever watch Puss in
yet.
Boots, if you watch it, trust me, you'll understand why. Like every single, I'm not sure what it is with like animation companies just like making their wolves just like the epitome of E621 material.
Okay, no.
Because every single one
That's
of
not them. It's because furries are all sexual deviants. That's what we are.
But think about it, you
I'm
have
kidding, of course.
you have I
I'm
can't remember
right
his name from
here.
Beastars. You have him from
So
Beastars.
you like Death?
I don't
I mean,
even know who
that's
Death is.
Death is the
no,
wolf
you've seen
in
art.
the,
You've seen art, dude. If you're like
I've
a
seen-
tiny
I've
amount on
seen
Twitter,
art.
You've known it. Exactly.
But the
mean,
thing
I don't know
is
the
that
character,
the
though.
things that furries like is necessarily not what I like. You see,
True.
I like
Good
Lola.
point.
I like Lola Bunny though. I mean, Bunny. Mm.
I mean,
Anyways,
furry.
I'm losing my
Daddy
thought
Crystal.
of track.
And
It's probably the straightest thing I've ever said so far.
I mean, that's what got me into the
Good
furry fandom. So there's no wrong deeds.
Lola
And
Bunny.
Crystal.
I could have remembered that
Crystal.
it wasn't. It was definitely not Lola Bunny. You did mention this before, but anyways, we're getting off track. But since I already
technology,
mentioned,
though.
I did grow up. It's so I grew up with the
Resolution of
original
technology.
Xbox. I still currently have it. Actually, I still have it. I still have my Xbox 360. Good memories. I also
Halo 3.
Yes.
Yeah,
Call of Duty
pretty
Modern for 2 days and lots of slurs.
yes, lots
So
of
I'm just letting
slurs.
you know, Fiction, me and Whiplash, we're constantly going to interrupt you, so you'll never be able to finish because we can all relate to what you're saying constantly.
Yeah, I know you will. I mean, you're gonna give me a hard time
Okay,
anyways. I'm gonna
I'm sorry about that.
punch your
That's
I
bean.
mean, I remember 360 days so well. Halo 3 when Halo 3 came out, my god.
Don't touch me.
It was like
Are you in the fetal position?
He punched my beef.
I've never seen a grown Arcadet so scared of me.
No,
that's
I'm-
a
Dude,
first.
I'm starting
Shall I
to be
massage
called
your
a
beans?
himbo. I'm like, yeah, that might actually be accurate. I'm just being a goof.
shall I massage your beans?
Hey, audience,
Nice
you want
though.
these? You want these beans? You see these beans? Yeah. You want to Whiplash show your beans? Yeah.
Beans.
Beans? You like these beans?
Like these bees.
Beans.
That's like
What
the
the
worst thing ever.
There you go.
You know, we all have black beans too. All of us have black beans.
true.
Hey, black beans are good beans.
Yeah, black beans are very good things, especially in
They're
tacos.
sweet and salty at the same time. They make treats with them. Like, wait, I mean,
don't know what
black
kind of beans you
the
be
actual
eating.
like the actually thing.
I don't know any sweet black beans. Unless you're talking
It didn't-
about like those
It-
jelly bean
it
black
did
licorice
not-
ones. Those are
No, so
nasty.
in those like rice balls, they put like black bean, and they kind of put sugar in it, and it actually is really good. Mochis.
Gonna say, did not seem long to
That's
take that out of
not.
context.
I don't know.
Oh, Coulter's gonna be so disappointed at what you just said.
Uh-huh.
Are you saying mochi?
Mochi. How do you say it? I never heard anybody say it. I'm just reading the label. There's 2 C's.
You mean red
Do I read
bean?
it the spec?
Mochi has red bean, not black bean.
Oh, okay. My bad. so sorry.
Okay, definitely a himbo moment for him.
Very much so.
You know, when you do come to the States, you're gonna have to try this
Oh,
matcha.
God.
cake in Maryland. We do have a matcha cake in Maryland that has red bean in it, and if you ever try to eat matcha cake, it's solid as a rock. I've never seen. It's great though. It tastes good. If you like anything,
Kit Kat is really good though.
So what I think of matcha, it's like not as sweet, but also not as bitter. It's like a mixture of both. Which I don't like anything too sweet.
Huh.
It's pretty good though. But anyways,
true.
But I will say this.
It's all right.
Well, excuse you.
My friend had this wine that she bought from, I can't remember what store it was. It was like an ABC liquor. And it was supremely sweet. It hurt to drink.
You mean too sweet to the point you felt like you were just eating straight up sugar?
It wasn't like that. Like, it was like, it didn't have like a sugary taste to it. It was just like, it was super sweet. In like a half good, half bad way. It made me do that thing, like when you drink alcohol and you drink it, and then you let it flow through your esophagus and it goes down your stomach, and then you're like, oof.
You're like, ooh.
It's one of those
Wait a minute,
things.
is it kind of like when people put too much sugar in like sweet tea? Because I've seen people do that, and I hate when people do that.
No, I do that. Like if I taste sweet tea that's too sweet, I'm like, I'm dying today.
But anyways, we're getting off point. But I wanted to go back to the conversation of technology. So I guess my next question is, what has? Oh, okay,
Yes.
you little brat. We won't talk to you. What has changed in terms of technology? My Google Translate just asked me how I was doing.
Mr. Fiction,
Tell me you're
how
bad.
you doing?
English.
Hope the day is being lovely.
I
sound
said
like someone from
English.
South Park for a second.
Je comprends pas ce que tu dis, tabarnak.
Goodbye, Google.
Oh my god. All right, what's the question?
What has changed and what is better in technology? We'll start off with you, Whiplash.
What has changed in technology? I mean, to be fair,
And what is better? And what is better?
everything. Like that's
Elaborate
just
when you mean by everything.
everything we use every day: phones, cars, games, consoles, TVs, computers, houses. Everything is always being scientifically like proven or like built better. It's just a fact. Everything we use is like getting better. Like we went from
We have
cassettes
smart
to CDs
refrigerators
to
now.
Bluetooth. Yeah, we went from square tube TVs with those little fangs in the side of them to OLED TVs, which are flatter than Hank Hill's ass.
Oh.
Oh.
They're also transparent too now. The screens are now transparent as well.
Yeah, and like we've gone from video consoles that are like 8-bit to now we're in the game.
We're in the
We're in the
actual goddamn game. We're in the freaking Ready Player One.
I am nothing
universe.
but binary
Just the
code,
currency.
ladies and gentlemen. This avatar is a lie. He's just binary code.
Exactly. We've gone from cars that could barely do 20 miles an hour to cars that can do 300 miles an hour. They have so much technology keeping them planted on the ground. It's just everything has gotten better. Like roads have gotten better. Like northern roads are better for snowing, like winters and stuff like that. So whenever they're salted, or they don't really need a salt as much as they used to. Like southern roads are made for
Southern
specific. They're
What
made
are we in
for
another realm?
no, the southern roads, like our roads that we drive on. They're made specifically for heat and hurricanes and rain. Like each place, like houses, my houses are built more. Florida houses are built for hurricanes. Arcadad's is built for winter.
Yep. There's still
just-
crap in Montreal, though. I can tell you that because there's goddamn potholes everywhere. It feels like there was a goddamn warfare the day before. It's pretty bad.
Oh god, I understand that. But
Yeah.
everything is technology advanced, no matter what you look at. Like everything possibly is. Like hell, candy and food are the same way. Like I don't know how to explain like the science behind that, but food has gotten more better, I guess, or more scientifically and truth.
Yeah, McDonald's
I
is
don't know,
totally
that's a good
been
way.
better for us. I'm loving it.
Oh god.
But anyways,
Bad pun.
anyway, okay, I will make an argument saying that actually I prefer how houses back in the day, like during the 1800s, were made compared to modern day.
So that's but that is style. That is not the same thing because technologically speaking, they're much more expensive. They consume a lot more power to keep at a steady temperature. And they're not as efficient, but they do have a style that is unique and it looks amazing. I agree with you on that. They look amazing.
I wouldn't say they're going based on the style. I'm going based on how long they lasted.
Oh, yeah. So they put 2 screws instead of 1 everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true. I would say the one thing they don't have, though, AC. Or here.
Nope, that's a very North American thing. Most people in Europe, they don't have AC. Most of the countries, all the people I've talked to on my Discord server, like they oh, I'm in Germany, I'm in the UK, I'm in France, I'm in blah blah blah, and they don't have AC. And like here in Canada, you can get a basic window AC unit, 5,000 BTUs for $130 Canadian, and they're paying the same thing cheap, $300. Unbelievable.
Wow, very unbelievable.
All right.
I want to add to the technology concerning cars. So a lot of people are like, maybe some people, they don't like the electric car generation, but one thing that is really cool is that it's really easy to automate them, and they're getting smarter and smarter, and they can actually counteract accidents better than we do. And with AI technology, which is that's something you're mentioning, I probably should keep that for later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later.
I'm fine with electric cars. I just want them to look like how Hyundai is trying to make their cars look. I don't really like Hyundai's combustion cars.
The N76, right?
I mean that one, yeah, but that's like that's the pre-production car thing. But I'm talking about like the ones they actually are building, like the Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 6. They look like
badass.
cyberpunk cars. They look like cyberpunk cars.
That does look cool.
And I'm here for it. I don't really like Hyundai, but I would buy them. Oh yeah, they do. Here's my hot take on Teslas. They all look the same. They're all like they haven't done anything with them in 10 years.
They did change the style a tiny bit on the front bumper. My uncle has a Model S when they first came out, and he has a Model 3. And I've seen more recent Model S's, and basically what they did is the Model S and the Model 3, they almost have the same style of the bumper, but it changed since the Model 3. But you could actually swap the parts, I'm pretty sure. But they haven't done much. I mean, they got something that works, so they're not changing something that is already working.
I mean, I'm just saying, it looks like they took each car, like they took the Model S, and when the Model X came out, they're like, all right, let's put this into Microsoft Word or Paint or whatever it is. And they just like expanded it upwards and made it a little bit longer, and there's like, new car. And then Model 3 came out, it's like they took the S, and they're like, all right, smaller. There we go. Model Y was like a bigger Model 3, and that was it. Like, it's just like,
Go ahead, finish your point. I thought you were done.
I'm just saying, like, to me, all the Teslas look the same, and from my experiences with Tesla owners, this is my experience, but a lot of people apparently experience it. They seem to act better than everyone else, even though I wouldn't buy a Tesla to save my life. There's better electric cars on the market.
So they're pretty much like the Beamers.
They really are.
The BMW owners.
Well, the fun thing about Tesla, if you go on their website and you look at the 4 car models, S, the Model 3, the Model X,
yeah, sexy,
the Model Y, that's sexy. Elon Musk is really clever on that one. I'm sure he knows that he did it on purpose. I'm convinced of that.
I think he did do that on purpose.
I like the audacity.
He did,
respect.
Much respect to your indulgence.
He wanted to do the E, but the E was trademarked, so he couldn't. So what did he do? He took the number 3. That's exactly why it's the only car that doesn't have a letter.
And my thing is, another thing is with them is if you're going to spend this amount of money on these cars, that you would expect, top tier, like, quality, right? Like, you expect the, what's it called? Oh my god. Like, what's it called when they're actually, like, doing checkups and stuff, like, after, like, everything's built? Like, the quality is not that good. It's like Lego bricks. I can't remember what it's called.
Okay.
No, I'm trying to think what the word is. What is it called?
Wait, can you repeat that real quick?
I wasn't paying attention either. For 2 seconds,
oh my god.
I missed it. I'm sorry.
So,
ADHD
what was the quality control. The quality control of the builds are crap. It's like you can easily rip stuff apart. Like it's built together with Lego bricks or Roblox
No, but
pieces.
here's the thing. That can be actually a pro, because a lot of people, what they do is they take the parts and they sell it online. And you basically need almost no tool to be able to swap some parts, because everything has plugs in it and everything is clipped on. So you can just pop those clips and replace things. You can do it on your own, and they're going to charge you out the ass for it. But if you want, you can also do the repairs on your own, and it's actually pretty easy. Like I've seen a report where a guy had no experience as a mechanical technician, a mechanic, and he started fixing on Teslas, and he was like, dude, they're actually like Lego bricks. Like, they're really easy to like pop open, change the part, and pop them back in. Could be considered as a con because the panels are falling off, but when you're doing car repairs, it's actually kind of cool that you're not fighting with the clip and the clips are not breaking.
Well, here's what my thing is. They should not say they're a luxury brand then, if that's the case. And two, if you get in an accident with a Tesla, no matter what angle you're hit from, there's so many sensors inside the body that it's totaled. It's just totaled.
They do have a lot of sensors, and they're all aluminum frames, so they're really hard to work on.
Yeah, so if you get in an accident, any kind of accident, it's just completely totaled. Like how my Corvette is almost. Like the frame is some aluminum, like, I don't know what it's called, but it's hard to like
aluminum.
Fix.
If you bend it, the thing with aluminum is if you bend it once and that's it. If you bend it a second time, it will develop metal stresses and it will break. It's only meant to be bent once. It will get stronger, but if you bend it back, it would actually snap.
Yeah, but that's just my thing. Like, to me, there are better electric cars out there. Like, no one probably knows it, but Polestar, which is made by Volvo. I've actually been in a Polestar. Honestly, I liked it. It looked great. The interior was, it was tight. It was super tight. It was like a compact car. But it was much enjoyable to be in. I will say the Mustang Mach-E I'm not a fan of because it looks weird. It doesn't look like a Mustang. They're just using that name to obviously sell them more. You have a lot of, you have the Hummer EV coming out. You have the, what's that truck brand? Rivian. You have Rivian. You have Lucid. Yeah, which I've already seen a few of them. You have Rivian. You have Lucid, which I've seen a few Lucids, which that's a good comparison against Teslas because they have the same horsepower, but they look better on the inside and outside. You have all the brands making electric cars now at this point. That's just the case.
Yeah,
Toyota's making one,
coming, whether we like it or not.
I remember when I was a kid, the idea of driving electric cars was just like a fantasy. And now, like the government was trying to, like, fuel companies were trying to stop electric cars because, you know, they sell fuel, and if you're getting to the car market, electric car market, then you're not selling fuel. They were really worried. But when the Tesla showed up and made some of the patents free, like now every day, like today, every single car manufacturer has at least 100% electric vehicle. You see them everywhere on the road. They're getting smarter. They're getting safer as well because they can predict accidents and they can react before than the human mind can do it. And like we're getting to a future just like in iRobots where the cars, they're going 180 kilometers or miles an hour. They're driving like 12 inches bumper but a bumper, but they're getting places and everybody's safe. But as soon as you want to go in manual mode, they're like, oh, we don't recommend that. So I think it's like we're getting really close.
Hold your thought real quick because I do need to say something real quick. So we hit the 30-minute mark, so I need to say what I need to do. So anyways, guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can keep up with content, but also if you want to be notified for our latest video, please hit the bell to get notified with any video that's coming up as well. Also, there is many things that you can find other than just this video. You can also find us on our audio platforms, which is also in our link tree, which will be in the description below of this video. It will also be sure to follow us on our audio platforms because we need that support. It helps us a lot. And also, we have something new that came out today that we can actually say now. We have a subscription.
Yes.
So yes, we have a Ko-fi subscription account. You can subscribe to our stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll let you do it.
So if you want to support us, you have a few bucks laying around, you want to help us out, develop our podcast, get better equipment, get better softwares and stuff like that, you can do a single donation through our Ko-Fi or Ko-fi, and you can also subscribe on our Discord platform to be getting some unique advantages, and you'll be able to, I think, meet up with us if they want to, right?
Yes, they get that benefit if you do have the $5.99 a month service.
We might organize special events where you can actually join in and spend time with us, and you'll see we're just regular people. We're just friendly.
Yes, of course. But yes, if you do subscribe to these services, you get some cool features with it, and also cool things that you can guys do. If you get the $5.99 servers, you can vote on which episode we get to do. You also get to meet us as well. Another thing is you can find all the information on our, like I said, on our link tree, which you can find it there. You can find more things about us as well. You can also go to our Telegram chat as well. That is also our Discord as well, inside the link tree. Everything is within the link tree, so go check that out when you can. We appreciate your support on Top Dogs.
Linktree.com/TopDogsPodcast. Really easy to find. And also, if you become a subscriber on our Discord, you get a little cute little paw prints next to your name with all of our 3 main colors on it. It's adorable.
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, your support is very much appreciated, even if you don't support us. We just appreciate you listening to the podcast or watching it.
Yep.
Today's actually the day that Whiplash didn't go up to the camera. Holy crap.
I was going to, but actually, one second. If you fuck, I was gonna say, if you don't watch us or support us, I'm gonna come to your house. I'm gonna eat you.
Oh.
For the camera.
I can for it.
Oh, well, we can confirm that Whiplash is Navor. It's verified.
Well, I'm going to say one thing. So if you actually subscribe to our Discord channel and pay the actual subscription and we go into Team Hangout, you get to sit on my lap for 5 minutes and I'll give you head pats and call you a good boy.
Oh my god.
Oh, then we have to add that service.
Free head patting session for 5 minutes on Stream Arcadad's lap.
What about
good boy head pats for 10 minutes?
What about?
It's my way to show appreciation.
But Bethany's a good girl. What are those girls?
Oh, I don't discriminate anyone.
Oh, good. Because Bethany,
I don't discriminate.
Speaking of Bethany, today she's recording this video, so thanks for Bethany for doing her part. We appreciate it. Because Colton is not here with us today. He's at AWE.
And
being a horse.
Computer is also dying.
Oh yeah, his stuff died. So thank you, Bethany, for being our videographer. You are such a great person. We love you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
I guess we can. Of course.
My foot
we
is
love
dead.
you.
Lyle God looks like he's sleeping in the back.
There you go.
He does. Oh.
He turned over and looked at me. He's just like this.
Oh my
He's like
God.
not moving. His eyes closed, and we're like, it just went back to it. I think he's just.
But anyways, we're gonna get back on topic. I think we'll also do question of the week in the last thing. So, but I will want to mention this. You know what? Actually, we'll mention the question of the week because I do want to talk about this as well. So, I guess the question of the week today is, well, I don't guess. I know what it is, sort of. So, AIs, what are your thoughts, hopes, fears, and dreams? This is the question of the week. So, audience, please leave a comment down below what you think about AIs. Do you think it will lead to our destruction of our world? Do you think we'll make use of it?
Terminator.
Or Terminator?
Yay! Post-apocalyptic world.
Okay, so I can talk about the AIs now, and now that you wanted to mention it, I believe, and this is just based on how my friend Colton sees it, and I actually agree with him. So, there is one weakness with computers and AI that people don't really consider. They don't understand context. That's the problem with them, in my opinion. That's their biggest downfall.
That's true.
Yeah.
Never thought about
Still no
that.
emotion yet.
Very smart.
Because think of it like this way. For example, me and Colton will sometimes go to our friend's house to go hang out, and it will be cold, and we already know it's cold. It's not that hard to figure out based on the feelings that we get. And when we drive his car, his Toyota. Oh wait, that's not a Toyota, it's a Nissan. But anyways, his Nissan would drive us, and as soon the dashboard would tell us, "Hey, it's cold outside," and in our brains we're like, "Well, no, we know that."
Yeah,
that's what we mean.
Says that. My work van is like, "Hey, there's icy condition." No, Sherlock, we're in the middle of January in Canada. I freaking know that.
That's what I mean by context. That's the problem. That's the biggest problems with computers, is they don't understand that yet. And I highly doubt we'll invent them to be that way, because that doesn't seem possible.
Well, machine learning will allow them to simulate a sort of context, or understand and react in a simulated way to context. So they understand that when there's this type of context, there's usually this type of answer for a similar situation. I'm talking English for now. I need to go.
Yes. Okay. We can. Well, there's a few more. There's a couple more questions, and we can be done. Okay.
Yeah, no. Hold on. That's fine.
All right. Well, we're gonna probably go. I'm gonna go through this really quickly though, because I don't want this to raise on for too long. But okay, so I guess the two questions I wanted to ask real quick is, what are some of your thoughts on certain technologies that we currently have, pros and cons? Well, we already mentioned it with the electric cars, but let's try something different. What about how consoles are trying to compete with PC gaming?
Well, I'm glad to see that actually now you play a multiplayer online game, and it doesn't matter if you're on PlayStation, Xbox, Wii, or PC, they all put everybody together in one big server. I think that is something really cool. We haven't had that for a while. I thought about it for years, and I'm like, why don't we just make every thing cross-platform? And they actually made it. But then you get into the debate of controller versus keyboard and mouse, and controllers to get a slight amount of aim assist while the keyboard don't. But they're able to turn around much faster than controllers, so it's like
it comes down to preference.
Yeah, I can't aim for my life with a mouse and keyboard. I'm more of a controller type of guy, but again, I haven't played Halo games for a while. I'd rather play in VR because this is actually accurate, and I play airsoft in real life, so I like those better.
And we can also and we have pointed this out with virtual headsets that we use currently, especially with these that we have, which is the Index. It's great, but it is so fragile and very expensive.
Mine is a tank. That's the thing. You guys are using Valve Index. So spec-wise, you guys have much better spec than I have, visual, audio quality, microphone quality, everything is better. The only thing I have better than both of you guys is resilience. The cable is fragile.
Hey, I don't know about you.
So me, I have the Vive Pro. Mine, I did a backflip, and my headset shot across the room, and it was perfectly fine. I also got the wireless adapter, which you guys don't have. I can't deal with the wire. I just hate it so much. Once you go wireless, you can't go back. It's too difficult. I tried. I couldn't do it.
The amount of furniture I've hit with my headset and how many times it's fallen off my head and all that stuff, it's taken a beating, and it still works perfectly fine. The only issue ever with this Index has been the cable. That's been it.
The cable is one of the biggest problems with this Index, and hopefully they make an Index that is wireless.
It is common with the Vive Pro too. The cable on the Vive Pro, the Vive Cosmos, is very fragile. It's very thick. It doesn't flex a lot, so it breaks really easy. So that's a common issue with both of them. The reason why I sound so good is because all Vive headset, they have really crappy microphone. I usually have a Razer Siren Mini that is right on my side here, that is plugged into the USB port, so it's completely wireless and it actually sounds good. But that's one of the mods I had to do because it's the microphone quality was just beyond unacceptable. If you have a Vive or any sort of Vive headset and you don't want to do that mod that I did, you can always grab the Antlion Mod Mic Wireless, which works pretty good. It's not as good as this, but it's way much better than the microphone. But honestly, the Valve Index, one thing they did really right is the audio for the speakers and the microphone. Astonishing. Great audio quality. I envy you guys for that.
I would say the one last technology. I would say the one last technology that we're definitely starting to use that is very public knowledge is the military is using unmanned vehicles in the sky.
UAVs.
What are they called? Drones? Drones, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs.
Ah, yes, those are very common.
That's what I was talking when they say there's using machines to end lives of human beings. It's those UAVs that are able to fly those drones that have like charges or explosive on it, and they can actually like drop 3 charges and actually use themselves as an explosive, as an EOD. So this is the thing that I don't really approve of. I just wish we had a world where we could all get along. It's probably never going to happen because people, they like to fight for some unknown reason. I don't know.
It's also very public knowledge. I wish we were too, but unfortunately, as long as human beings exist, that will no longer happen. But anyways, there is also drones that people use, regular drones that you can buy at the store, where in the Ukraine war, they're using it to drop grenades.
I mean, it's available. It's accessible.
Yeah, that's another problem. And that's just how it is. People are using technology for things like that. Unfortunately, we could use technology for the better, but that is another conversation for another day. We have reached our limit. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We'll see you guys next week with a guest, and you're going to love them. We'll see you guys next week.
I'm going to have a fun time with him. I got stuff in store for him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.